Did you know that over 70% of women past 50 report difficulty achieving orgasm according to clinical data from JAMA? Most have never been told there are medical solutions. Instead, they live with dryness, disconnection, and the silent loss of intimacy. But the good news is modern science confirms 5 simple ways to revive arousal and fulfillment, and I'll reveal them today. My name is Dr. Eliza Hart. I'm a board-certified gynecologist with over 15 years of experience helping women navigate menopause hormonal changes and the intimate challenges that come with this stage of life. In my clinic, I've guided thousands of women who once thought pleasure was over, only to discover their bodies were still capable of deep and satisfying intimacy. The biggest barrier isn't age itself, but misinformation. Too many women are told that desire naturally fades, that after menopause, intimacy must be endured rather than enjoyed. This belief is not only false, it prevents women from seeking medical solutions that could restore their confidence and connection. If you care about your health after 50, I invite you to subscribe so you won't miss evidence-based advice designed to help you feel vibrant and connected again. And let me know in the comments, type 1 if this resonates with you, or 0 if you think more conversations like this are needed. Now let's begin with the very first medical key to restoring orgasm after 50. 1. Improve blood flow to the pelvic area. When it comes to restoring pleasure after 50, the first step is not exotic or complicated. It is a fundamental biological reality that often goes overlooked. Let us begin with what every orgasm depends on: circulation. Without healthy blood flow to the pelvic region, arousal cannot fully awaken, no matter how much desire is present. This is why many women describe feeling flat or unable to cross that final threshold even when emotional closeness remains strong. Medically, orgasm is a vascular and neurological event. During arousal, increased blood flow causes the tissues of the vagina and clitoris to swell, enhancing sensitivity and preparing the body for climax. After menopause, the decline in estrogen alters vascular tone, leading to slower or reduced circulation in these tissues. The result is dryness, diminished response, and a sense that the body is no longer cooperating. Many patients voice the same concern in clinic, saying they simply cannot feel as much as they used to. Clinical research confirms the role of circulation in sexual health. A 2017 review in the Journal of Women's Health highlighted that improved cardiovascular activity enhances genital responsiveness. Another study showed that even moderate aerobic activity 3 times a week significantly improved arousal in postmenopausal women. These findings mirror what we see in everyday practice. This means the path to regaining sensitivity often lies not in medication first, but in daily habits that encourage blood to flow. What does this look like in practical life? For many women, it begins with a brisk 15-20-minute walk. Walking increases circulation, reduces tension, primes the nervous system, and creates anticipation. I often recommend couples walk together before intimacy. The blend of movement and closeness prepares both body and mind. For others, gentle yoga or light stretching serves the same purpose, awakening pelvic muscles and improving blood delivery to key tissues. A warm shower before intimacy can also help. Warm water dilates blood vessels, encouraging circulation to the skin and genital area while releasing muscular tension. These small, deliberate rituals, walking, stretching, warming the body, act as signals telling the brain and body that it is safe to let arousal emerge. They are not luxuries, but medical strategies rooted in vascular physiology. For women who already struggle with hypertension or diabetes, this focus on circulation is even more essential because these conditions can further reduce responsiveness if left unchecked. Beyond intimacy, focusing on circulation brings wider benefits. When you move your body and strengthen cardiovascular health, you protect your heart, support cognition, and maintain muscle tone. What benefits sexual health also benefits longevity and vitality. Pleasure is not an isolated function. It is interwoven with the same systems that keep you thriving. By addressing circulation first, we build a foundation. Once blood is moving freely, the body becomes more responsive. Sensitivity increases, and orgasm no longer feels out of reach. It is the base upon which the next steps rest. And when that base is strong, we can examine the next essential factor that many couples overlook, one adjustment that can quietly transform how intimacy unfolds. 2. Extend the warm-up phase. Now that we have established circulation as the foundation of arousal, the next step is equally critical, yet it is often dismissed or rushed through. For women after 50, the warm-up phase is not optional, it is essential. The body still carries tremendous capacity for sensation, but these tissues need more time to respond than they once did. Recognizing and honoring this biological reality can make the difference between frustration and fulfillment. In earlier decades, many women felt their bodies shift into arousal within minutes. After menopause, however, reduced estrogen and changes in tissue elasticity mean that blood vessels open more slowly and nerves require longer stimulation to activate. This is not a sign of dysfunction, nor does it mean desire is gone. It is simply a change in physiology. When partners attempt to move too quickly, discomfort takes over and orgasm feels distant. When they allow patience, arousal builds naturally, and pleasure follows more reliably. Medical studies support this. Research published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that women over 50 who engaged in at least 20 minutes of focused, affectionate warm-up before penetration reported higher rates of orgasm, greater intensity, and less discomfort. The explanation is straightforward. More time means fuller vascular response, better lubrication, and heightened sensitivity of the clitoris and vaginal tissues. In essence, biology is asking for time, and when that time is given, the body rewards it generously. What does a warm-up phase look like in real life? It extends far beyond a few minutes of touch. It may include affectionate conversation, eye contact, playful gestures, unhurried kissing, or gentle stroking. These behaviors activate not only the body, but also the brain's pathways of trust and relaxation. When the nervous system feels safe, the pelvic region receives stronger signals to increase blood flow and lubrication. This combination is what opens the door to climax. One common mistake I encounter in clinic is the belief that warm-up is wasted time. In truth, it is the very process that unlocks desire. I recall patients who had spent years believing they were broken, only to realize that their bodies simply needed more space to awaken. When they and their partners slowed down, they found themselves experiencing sensations they thought were gone forever. The relief on their faces when they describe this change tells me how powerful patience can be. Extending warm-up also reintroduces intimacy as more than just physical mechanics. It restores connection, laughter, tenderness, the comfort of being seen. These are not small details. They are integral to how the female body enters arousal, particularly after menopause. Couples who approach intimacy as a shared exploration rather than a race consistently report greater satisfaction, and that satisfaction often translates into easier, stronger orgasms. By embracing a longer warm-up phase, you give your body the chance to function as it was designed. You create conditions where climax is not forced, but invited. And when that invitation is accepted, the experience becomes deeper and more enduring. Having established the importance of both circulation and patience, we can now move toward another factor that operates silently within the body, one that, if strengthened, can reignite the very contractions that define orgasm itself. 3. Strengthen the pelvic floor. We have talked about circulation and patience, but even with these in place, some women still describe feeling as if they are standing at the edge of orgasm and cannot cross over. This is one of the most common concerns I hear in consultations. The explanation is often simple. The muscles that once carried them through climax have weakened over time, leaving pleasure muted or incomplete. The pelvic floor is a group of muscles that support the bladder, uterus, and rectum. These are the same muscles that contract rhythmically during orgasm, creating that unmistakable wave of release. In younger years, these contractions are strong and automatic, but with age, childbirth, gravity, and hormonal decline, the muscles lose tone and responsiveness. Many women interpret this as loss of desire when in fact the structure that powers orgasm has simply lost strength. Research consistently validates this connection. A controlled study published in Physiotherapy Theory and Practice found that women over 50 who performed daily pelvic floor exercises for 3 months reported significant improvement in orgasm intensity and frequency. Another study in the International Urogynecology Journal confirmed that strengthening these muscles not only improved sexual satisfaction, but also reduced urinary leakage and enhanced overall quality of life. These findings highlight a key truth. Pelvic floor health is not just about pleasure, but about independence and well-being. So how can women rebuild this foundation? The most accessible approach is Kegel exercises. By contracting the same muscles used to stop the flow of urine holding for a few seconds and then releasing strength gradually returns. I usually recommend starting with 10 repetitions 3 times per day. Over time, as the muscles adapt, women can increase the duration of each hold. Beyond Kegel's, yoga poses such as bridge or cat-cow can also engage and tone the pelvic floor gently. For those seeking more structured support, pelvic floor physiotherapy provides individualized guidance and feedback. Patients often describe dramatic change after committing to this practice. One woman in her late 50s told me she felt her orgasms return with force after just a few months of daily exercises. Another admitted she had been skeptical at first, but was surprised to notice not only greater sensation, but also improved posture and less back discomfort. These stories are consistent with the clinical data and show that progress is possible at any age. What I emphasize to every patient is consistency. These are not quick fixes, they are cumulative investments. Each day of practice builds towards stronger contractions, more reliable orgasms, and greater confidence in intimacy. And because these exercises can be done anywhere at home, at work, even while commuting, they're among the most practical tools available for women after menopause. If you are watching this and have ever wondered whether pelvic floor training could make a difference for you, I encourage you to share your thoughts below. Have you tried Kegels or similar exercises? Did you notice a change? Leave a comment with your experience. Your insight could inspire another woman to begin her own journey. By reinforcing the pelvic floor, we reclaim the very mechanism that drives climax. With circulation, patience, and muscular strength now aligned, the path to fulfillment grows clearer. Yet there is still another piece we must address, a change that almost every woman encounters after menopause, one that can quietly undermine pleasure if ignored. 4. Harness the power of lubrication and touch variety. Even with circulation restored, patience embraced, and the pelvic floor strengthened, there is another challenge that many women quietly carry after menopause: discomfort. I often hear women say, "I want to be close, but it hurts." This simple sentence carries not only physical pain, but also the sadness of feeling disconnected from intimacy. Addressing this concern is vital, because when discomfort enters the picture, desire quickly fades. Biologically, this is a predictable change. With declining estrogen, the vaginal walls become thinner. Natural lubrication decreases, and friction that once felt pleasurable can turn sharp or irritating. These changes do not mean the end of intimacy. They mean the body requires additional support. Unfortunately, embarrassment keeps many women from seeking it, leaving them to believe they must endure rather than adapt. Medical guidance is clear: lubrication and moisturization are not optional after menopause, they are recommended. The North American Menopause Society advises women to consider both lubricants for immediate comfort and vaginal moisturizers for long-term tissue health. Silicone-based lubricants provide lasting glide, while water-based options feel natural and are safe with most devices. When used consistently daily, moisturizers can help rebuild comfort and elasticity. Together, these measures replace friction with smoothness, allowing pleasure to return without pain. But lubrication alone is only part of the solution. After 50, the nervous system often responds differently to stimulation. Nerve pathways that once lit up easily may be slower, while other areas of the body become unexpectedly sensitive. This is why variety in touch becomes so important. Exploring different pressures, rhythms, and erogenous zones can awaken sensation in new ways. For some women, clitoral focus becomes more rewarding. For others, gentle use of devices or changes in position create responses they thought were lost. The key is curiosity, rather than routine. In my practice, couples who experiment with variety often rediscover not only pleasure, but also playfulness. One patient told me she and her partner had been stuck in the same pattern for years, which led to frustration. Once they incorporated lubricant, tried new forms of touch, and allowed themselves to laugh together, she described her orgasms as stronger than ever. Her story illustrates an important truth. Pleasure after 50 does not require abandoning what once worked, but expanding the options available. It is also worth remembering that comfort and variety extend beyond the bedroom. When women feel empowered to discuss these changes openly, shame loses its grip. Talking about preferences, sharing what feels good, and admitting what does not are all part of building intimacy that lasts. This communication not only reduces anxiety, but also makes arousal more natural. I would love to hear from you if you have ever tried different approaches, whether a new lubricant, a shift in rhythm, or exploring new areas of sensitivity. What difference did you notice? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your experiences could help another woman realize she is not alone in this journey. By restoring comfort and embracing variety, intimacy becomes not something to fear, but something to look forward to again. And once this physical layer is secured, we can turn our attention to an aspect that often remains unspoken, the power of the mind, which can shape the entire experience of orgasm in ways more profound than the body alone. 5. Engage the mind, not just the body. Even when blood flow is improved, warm-up is honored, muscles are strengthened, and discomfort is eased. Many women still tell me they feel something is missing. They do everything right physically, yet climax remains elusive. This is when I remind them orgasm does not begin between the legs. It begins between the ears. The mind is the central driver of arousal, and when it is burdened, the body cannot fully respond. Stress, self-doubt, and distraction are some of the most common barriers I see in women after 50. Life responsibilities do not disappear with age. In fact, they often grow. Concerns about health, family, or relationships can occupy so much mental space that there is little left for intimacy. The nervous system cannot simultaneously prepare for pleasure and remain on high alert. This is why many women report feeling numb, even when they want to engage their brains, have not given permission to let go. Neuroscience supports this. Functional MRI studies have shown that when women engage their imagination or focus on relaxation, before intimacy, activity in the brain's pleasure centers rises significantly. Conversely, when anxiety or negative self-talk is present, those same regions become less responsive. This means that cultivating mental readiness is not optional. It is as important as circulation or lubrication. Mental priming is now recognized in sexual medicine as a crucial step in regaining responsiveness. How can this be practiced in daily life? For some women, it begins with mindful breathing before intimacy, a few minutes to release tension and reconnect with the present. Others find that listening to calming music, guided meditation, or even reading sensual literature helps awaken mental pathways that support arousal. Allowing the imagination to play a role can also be powerful. This is not about disloyalty, but about stimulating the brain's capacity to heighten desire and sensation. I once counseled a woman in her 60s who admitted she often felt disconnected despite trying everything else. We introduced a short mindfulness practice before intimacy and encouraged her to allow fantasy to surface without guilt. Within weeks, she reported a profound shift. Her body responded more easily, and for the first time in years, she experienced orgasm that left her in tears of relief. Stories like hers confirm what science already tells us: the brain is the gateway to deeper pleasure. For anyone watching, I would love to hear how you approach this mental side of intimacy. Do you find relaxation techniques, imagination, or mindfulness helpful? Share your perspective in the comments. Your insight could open new doors for someone else. By engaging the mind, you create the conditions for arousal to flow freely. When your thoughts and body align, climax becomes not only possible, but deeply satisfying. With all 5 medical keys in place: circulation, patience, strength, comfort, and mental readiness, we can now bring everything together and see how they work as one integrated pathway to restoring intimacy after 50. Understanding the 5 medical keys is important, but real change comes from applying them in a way that feels sustainable. Many women ask me, where do I start? The answer is start small, be consistent, and allow progress to build gradually. Begin with circulation. A daily 15-20-minute brisk walk is enough to improve blood flow and awaken the pelvic region. If walking is difficult, light stretching or gentle yoga can provide similar benefits. Aim for consistency rather than intensity. Your body responds best to regular activity. Next, allow more time for warm-up. Instead of expecting arousal in minutes, plan for 15 to 20 minutes of unhurried touch or conversation before penetration. This adjustment may feel unusual at first, but it allows tissues to fully respond and reduces discomfort. Communicate with your partner so that both of you view this as essential preparation, not delay. For the pelvic floor, begin Kegel exercises with 10 contractions 3 times per day. Hold each for 3 to 5 seconds before releasing. Over weeks, gradually increase the hold time. If you struggle to identify the right muscles, a pelvic health physiotherapist can guide you safely. Lubrication should not be seen as optional. Use a high-quality water-based or silicone-based lubricant during intimacy, and consider a daily vaginal moisturizer for long-term comfort. This helps protect delicate tissues and restores elasticity. Finally, give attention to your mental readiness. Create a short ritual before intimacy, a few minutes of deep breathing, relaxing music, or even guided meditation. These practices calm the nervous system and open the mind to pleasure. Start with 1 or 2 of these changes this week. Keep track of how your body responds. Over time, the small steps accumulate, leading to greater confidence, comfort, and satisfaction. As we close this conversation, I want to remind you of the 5 keys we explored. First, support your circulation because blood flow is the foundation of every orgasm. Second, extend your warm-up time, giving your body the patience it deserves. Third, strengthen your pelvic floor, rebuilding the very muscles that drive climax. Fourth, use lubrication and experiment with different forms of touch to restore comfort and awaken new sensations. Finally, engage the mind because arousal begins with mental readiness just as much as physical response. Together, these strategies form an integrated pathway to restoring intimacy after 50. None of them are extreme or complicated. Each one is grounded in science and validated by clinical practice. And the more consistently you apply them, the more they reinforce each other, creating lasting improvements in comfort, confidence, and satisfaction. My advice to every woman is to start with one small change this week. Take a walk. Add 5 minutes to your warm-up or begin a short Kegel routine. Track how your body feels. Celebrate small wins. Over time, these steps accumulate and the transformation is real. Intimacy after menopause is not about chasing youth. It is about embracing health and vitality in the present. Thank you for spending this time with me. If today's video gave you insight, I would love for you to join the conversation below. Share your thoughts or experiences in the comments because your voice can inspire another woman. And if you haven't already subscribed for more evidence-based guidance on women's health after 40, your support helps me create content that truly serves this community. I appreciate your trust and I look forward to walking this journey with you.